everyone. It's Kellie Madison here, director, and I'm on School of Hollywood. Insanely excited to be here.
Well, great, Kellie. Glad to have you here. You did a film a few years ago. I got to see the premiere of it with David Arquette and Luke Wilson. High Voltage. It was here in Hollywood. And how were you able to get such high caliber casts for a relatively low budget movie?
Yeah, I was a producer on that movie. I did not direct that film, but I was a producer on that movie. We just went out to talent and, we had a little bit of funding to play with, a little bit of budget to play with, and you'd be surprised actors really want to work. So, so sometimes it's not a challenge to get talent, and sometimes it is, as you know. Yep. It's kind of a mix. Casting is definitely a mixed bag.
So you're now in the directing mode. How do you feel the difference between directing and producing?
Oh, wow. They're different worlds apart. But I love them both, actually, although I feel more at home in the director chair. But you kind of have to I always say, hey, guys, I'm putting my producer hat on now, and we need to do this to save budget. So it's nice to actually be able to bounce back and forth between the two worlds, because having produced, you are budget conscious and you're location conscious and you're safety conscious. And in this climate, as you know, with certain tragic events that have happened, you always want to be safety conscious. So when you've got your producer hat on, you can fulfill all those things, and that actually serves you, I think, really well as a director. And if you know your budget inside and out too, where, as a director, you know where you could pull from. Just say, I don't need as much an art department. Let me put it in a stunts or whatever. And so you know how to shift things around in the budget to serve your creative, which is really great.
This new movie, Never Back Down, Revolt, strong cast of martial artists. We had an opportunity to interview Anito Chandra last week, and she's amazing. I've actually followed her as a martial artist, being a fourth Dan she is. And when working with a martial artist, how different is it than, say, working with actors?
It's really different in the sense they're super disciplined and they don't mind getting hurt, whereas actors are a little bit more like, don't touch my face, and don't hurt me, and so they're a little bit more conscious of that. But real fighters, like again, working with Michael Bisping, he doesn't care. You can punch him, kick him, throw him, anything you want, and he can handle it. So that's what I like about working with real fighters, because they can really just kind of take the fight, which is amazing. So it makes your fight scene look really authentic. But at the same time, you've got to serve your story, and you want to have strong actors so that your characters, you can root for them, and that they're actually serving the story. So the most ideal situation is to have the best of both worlds, someone who's a fighter and that can also act. I really like working with the Indonesians in that regard. The Indonesians from the Raid movies, which I've worked with a couple times now, and they're such lovely talents, and they're strong fighters, some of the strongest fighters I've ever seen in my entire life, and they take direction really well actor-wise. Their faces are just so lush and filled with character. I'm just in love with it. I want to do more films with them for sure.
How many takes did you take on the fight scene? Because they look pretty brutal when I was watching the screener on it.
Yeah, good. I hope so, Steve. I want them to look brutal. If it was up to me and we had more time, which is always the enemy of any director, is needing more time, then I would have had them look even more brutal. So for example, some of the fights, most of the fight scenes, we had 5 hours to shoot, and that's literally insane. Whereas you should have 5 days to shoot them, in a perfect world. So then you have more time to stop for blood rigs, more time to stop for cuts and bruises, and you can get super, super bloody and violent. So I was hoping to do that with this film, and I went as far as I could go, time permitting, but I'm glad it sounds like you enjoyed the fight scenes regardless.
Oh, I did, and it actually looked like real blood, not fake blood. And one thing I noticed is that you didn't do like the Jackie Chan where they cut out the last second of the scene so the punch looks harder. It looked like those were really connected kicks and punches that were going in there.
Again, thank you for the compliments. And yes, if it's up to me, I have my actors make contact, and again, I learned that from the Indonesians, because they have different rules in their stunt community than we do in America. And they create contact with everything that they do. So they have with their punches, with their kicks. And so that's why the fighting looks so visceral and so real. I'm obsessed with it. And then there's also this interesting rule that I learned where the only place that they won't hit is this area of the face. But in America, we have a 5-inch rule where your punch comes 5 inches from your face. In Indonesia, they're like, nah, you can get right next to the nose. So it just looks so beyond real. So wherever I am and whatever project I'm working on, if I'm doing a fight scene, I really try to push those boundaries and really push our actors to make everything look as super real as possible.
In the movie, as people are going to get ready to watch, what scene should they look out for that's one of your favorites?
Oh gosh, there's a couple. I was talking to someone earlier, and there's a emotional scene between two women, and I won't give it away, but it kind of comes in the middle of the movie, and it's a little bit striking. Like, it's unexpected what happens. And that scene, I thought the actresses we crafted it together beautifully. So proud of that scene. And then there's should be the most fun scene of the movie, where the villain gets his comeuppance. But
oh, yeah. It was good. I'm not going to spoil it on that one.
Yeah, no spoiler. That was also Sony's favorite scene, and they were really happy with it. So that makes me happy.
What advice would you give to women wanting to be a director and a producer? And what skills should they work on to become one?
It's a great question that I wish I had a mentor coming up, when I was climbing the ladder, and I'm still climbing the ladder. But when I was younger, I wish I had a mentor. I would say get to Los Angeles as soon as possible. This is what I'll always tell young people, because I'm from Chicago, and I got out to Los Angeles late in the game, like when I was 25. And usually, that's considered late. So if you want a career in entertainment, I just say get out to LA, because it's really about the relationships and the networking. And then I would say start shooting as soon as possible. So I'm not of the, the philosophy that you need to go to film school or anything. I think get a camera in your hands and get great content and just keep shooting, because you learn your mistakes that way. You work with actors, then you figure out lighting, then you figure out editing. And once you go through all those processes, that are involved in filmmaking, from prep to production to post, you just learn a ton. Like, I feel like every movie I get under my belt, I'm just so much more seasoned, and I understand the craft of filmmaking so much more. In fact, I was telling my manager that having directing 2 films this past year has made me a better writer, I think, because now when I go back to the page, I'm working on something, I know how to structure it a bit better, and I know what I'm going to need in the edit. I know when I'm going to need moments alone with characters, or when I'm going to need to see something from a character, or let a moment breathe, or get some tonal pieces and tonal footage. So it's all stuff that you only learn on the job. So that's why I say get to LA soon, make connections, relationships, shoot, and also be bold, be brazen, and go after your dream. You just have to, and you have to be. I say brave because this business, as everyone knows, is a cliche. It's filled with rejection. And you're going to get a lot of that. Everyone is, but you have to be able to take it on the chin and just keep going, and just, every no is going to lead to your yes. So all these sorts of cheesy cliche expressions, but they're all true. So I hope that helps.
Never Back Down, Revolt. It's on Blu-ray, DVD, and it's also on streaming, correct?
It will be on streaming, not next week, but I think it's going to stay on DVD, digital, Blu-ray, pay-per-view for a while, and then it's going to hit a streamer.
So is there going to be a sequel for this movie?
I hope so. Everyone needs to call in and write into Sony if they like this, because there's definitely the producers and myself and a couple of the actresses. We'd love to dive into, explore another round of, maybe there's a revenge that happens, because I don't know if you remember some of the monologues where the actors are talking about their trainers selling them out.
Oh, yeah.
And getting them into this horrible human trafficking situation. So we're like, what if the girls go get revenge on their trainers? And there's so many other sort of branches of the storyline that we can explore. So if people are really liking this movie and it does well, I think we are going to explore that. So everyone's got to go watch it.
And anything else in the works for you that we could be on the lookout for?
Oh, I've got so much in development. I'm so excited about, and thank you for asking. We're casting a horror film called Rue, and then I am working on a rewrite for a grounded sci-fi project I'm in love with called Kecksburg. That's really, really, really exciting. And then a couple of other elevated action projects that we're doing some unique things with as well. So everything's in development. And it's just, I'm actually so busy in development all day, but you know, that process takes a while. So
Yep.
you just have to just go through it. You're in the script phases, or you're doing lookbooks, or you're pitching. I've got another true crime project, a book that I optioned based on a real story called Rabbit. We've been pitching that. So just, you know, you stay super busy, like getting all your projects out there and figure out which is going to be your next one.
Fantastic. And where can people find you on social media?
Oh, please go to, I'm on Insta and Twitter at Director Madison.
Fantastic.
Don't forget, everyone's got to spell my name with an IE, because everyone knows what they find when they spell it with a Y.
I don't, but somehow I don't think I should be.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it's not me.
Well, I appreciate you being here today on School of Hollywood, and can't wait to see it again.
Oh, I appreciate you having me, Steve, and you've been kind and gracious, and thank you so much.